Hello, and welcome to the podcast that discusses all things gaming. Coming to you from the home of Indie PopCon, Gen Con, and the gaming capital of the world, we are the Established Facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to episode 193 of the Established Facts. Woo! That's right. That's right.
Donald Martyr as Michael Buffer. Everybody.
Michael Buffer. Thank you.
There's your golf clap.
Thank you.
There's
or,
your golf clap.
if I
Howard
would
Finkel.
if I would have gone a little bit more extreme, I could have been Road Dogg or...
Whoa.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
I'm not that awake.
all ages.
Congratulations to their Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so as you may be able to tell, we are in WrestleMania spirits. Joshy and I were trying to come up with a fun episode to do right after our Building Your Character on a Curve series, which we had a lot of fun with, and are planning on revisiting with some other tweaks and some additions, probably going through some of the supplementary books and finding some of our favorite classes and talking about those.
Fun. This is a fun episode, my dear.
This is a fun episode of WrestleMania coverage. That's right. We convinced Debbie. We watched SmackDown right before WrestleMania. We are totally caught up with everything that's happened prior to WrestleMania actually happening.
15 matches.
There are 15 matches
Possibly
on the card.
16
possibly
matches.
16 or
They
more
are
if they
bored.
get bored.
They're insane.
Well, because Elias is the special guest, like, performer, and John Cena is supposed to be in town, and that's
right.
up now.
Alexa Bliss is the host, so who
you mean?
knows what happens.
Oh, you mean the match could actually happen? It
He's
could actually
in town. That's
He's
all we
in
know.
town.
Which means he's going to be in a match. Anywho, okay. I think it's going to be an endurance competition. We should have an
down.
award for the person who watches every match.
Yeah.
That means you got to like run and pee break when Elias is performing.
There you go. Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay,
You should
so-
see, because you deserve an award if you can get through all those matches.
So let's go ahead and do our intro real quick, and then we'll get into the discussion of what we are going to be talking about on this episode of
Because no one can
The
guess.
Established Facts. So we'll go ahead and start to my left.
This is Josh.
This is Dr. Deb.
And of course, I am your host, Big Don. We are going to be talking about Wrestlemania 35. So,
That's right, Vince McMahon. It is WrestleMania 35.
35.
That old, and it's awesome.
35.
If the Super Bowl has numbers after it, I'm just saying, dude.
It's WrestleMania 35.
Hello.
When you give every other WrestleMania a number,
Right.
minus like 2,
Right.
like,
No,
is this the only one that hasn't?
The
had
only
one
one.
yet?
No. The last few years, they haven't specifically put the number on the
Sure.
logo since like WrestleMania 30. Yeah, after 30. So 31, 32, 33. They haven't put the number on it. And WrestleMania 2000, which was 17,
Yeah.
was
WrestleMania
2000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because someone forgot what year it was, and they wanted to remind
it was
them.
the year 2000.
It was the millennium. So they wanted to make it a big deal.
They wanted to break all the computers.
No,
that the
wow.
year?
Y2K.
Y2J.
I see what you did there.
I think he was all part of
I
that.
think
Y2J,
so, yeah,
because he
that
came
was
in
sick.
99.
Yeah.
And,
Well, he's currently blacklisted from WWE.
Yeah, it's because
so.
he's joining All Elite. But
Yes,
that's a
he
whole other
is.
thing.
That's, yeah.
Yep.
There's no joining. He is All Elite.
He is all elite.
He is all elite.
He is all in.
He was
and
all elite before he was all elite.
Yeah,
That's
He's
true.
the hipster of all
I
elite.
think he was the first elite.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's funny.
we
Elite
digress.
Prime?
Before we get in, while we're doing our random chatting, before we actually get into our...
If you have no idea what we're talking about, continue.
Yeah, absolutely. Please indulge us. Because one of Joshy and I, and Deb, I guess she's getting more into it, but one of Joshy and I for sure's passions next to gaming is professional wrestling. And a couple of years we did an episode about WrestleMania, talked about, was it a post WrestleMania
Yes.
recording? So this is actually a pre-WrestleMania recording. We have not done one of these.
Right. So we may have to
new.
do a post one.
We may have to do a
Which
post
could
one.
just be, that was so long. Bye.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a nap.
I can't think. My brain is broken. Oh, yeah.
So So please indulge us. We are going to be talking about some gaming content involved with professional wrestling. If you have never watched professional wrestling, it is entertaining. My wife and I agree that it is a male soap opera, which I love
very much.
Yes, that is unanimous.
And if I can sit through Days of Our Lives, then doggone it, you can watch 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. So
it should be 2 hours of Monday Night Raw.
I agree. Because I feel like there's a lot of ADD going on with Monday Night Raw as compared to SmackDown.
Yes.
SmackDown feels a little bit nicer with only being 2 hours, but I feel like it's almost too fast.
Yeah.
True, but
It's just, we'll just shave a half an hour off of Raw, add it to SmackDown, make it a 2.5-hour show each one.
I'm good with that.
when Samoa Joe gets interrupted by Daniel Bryan's entrance, you know they're running short on time.
That's
They're trying to cram, especially for something
awkward.
like WrestleMania, trying to cram as much as they can into the 2 or 3 weeks prior. So especially because they had Fastlane right before it, so they got a lot of other storylines that started at Fastlane that they have 3 weeks of development on that they're
Then
trying
the
to push
Chamber.
for WrestleMania, and the Chamber happened 3 months before, or 3 weeks before that.
So they're trying to wring every last bit of life
Every
out of
bit.
every minute they have. I can just picture it.
It's funny because I can remember as a kid, you had the Royal Rumble in January. Mm-hmm. And
Which we still do.
right, they still do the Royal Rumble in January. And the Royal Rumble winner, the winner of the Battle Royal, now the winner of both the men's and women's Battle Royal,
which
in the
is
Royal
amazing.
Rumble, which
the
is
fact that they're
awesome.
doing all
Yeah.
this women's
Yes.
stuff is amazing.
Get an opportunity to challenge for one of the two major belts of their division. And it doesn't matter what brand it is. We've seen, as even this year, we've seen people who have won the Royal Rumble Battle Royal challenge the opposing brand's champion for a shot at the title. And then it used to be, I thought there was only like one pay-per-view between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania for a few years. And I feel like, though it seemed like it was kind of a long wait between the two, I feel like cramming two pay-per-views with like
that
Elimination Chamber and Fastlane in there, it's kind of rough.
So during the early 90s, after SummerSlam and Survivor Series got introduced, they had just the big four. And then about around the time the Attitude Era kind of kicked off, they started adding more and more, but it was one a month.
Yeah.
So the beginning of the year usually was the Rumble and then a pay-per-view and then WrestleMania.
Right.
For many years, it was the Rumble, the Elimination Chamber, and the WrestleMania, because
Which
the
I feel like
Elimination
is
Chamber,
a good formula.
right? Because the Chamber would be used to determine the number one contender for the other World Championship.
It made sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But Fastlane got thrown in there. I don't know if it was just a pre-scheduled thing or what. But
Like
it was
the last
also
couple of years or something.
right.
Like
But it was also because they were doing separate pay-per-views,
Right.
brand pay-per-views, and then about halfway through, like last year or right after WrestleMania last year, all pay-per-views went to dual branded, and they already had all these other ones scheduled.
Yeah. So if you are a newcomer to professional wrestling, we are specifically discussing the World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, if you will.
the juggernaut.
That's right. Formerly the World Wrestling Federation, but now, World Wrestling Entertainment. And again, tons and tons of pay-per-view. Well, they're not even pay-per-view now. You just subscribe to their network, and you have access
have
to their.
pay-per-views.
They are
to the
still
actual- You can
pay-per-views.
still actually order them on pay-per-view.
I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's like $65 versus $10.
Right.
Just pay
Versus-
for
Or
the
the
network.
first month is free.
Yeah, exactly.
It saved us a lot of money since we've signed up, by the way, to this
Right.
network,
Yeah.
because
I mean, for the
otherwise
pri-
we're shelling out.
For the price of WrestleMania and one other pay-per-view,
Yeah.
you're paying for a year's worth of pay-per-views.
I'm gonna throw a quick note out because by the time, hopefully, my plan is to release this within the next couple days before WrestleMania, because it's pre-WrestleMania. Many people have already seen the John Oliver video that's floating around talking about World Wrestling Entertainment. Please go watch it.
It's entertaining.
It is.
It is informative.
And once you take that, please go and do your own research and formulate your own opinion.
Yep.
We're not going to go into discussion on that right now because WrestleMania is more important than that at the moment.
Way more important.
Just to us, and no, we're not being like we don't care or anything because he talks about some very serious topics.
Yeah.
But honestly, we'd rather kind of let the discussion kind of stay open because it's just the three of us. We're talking about WrestleMania now, and if it comes up and you want more opinions, we'll bring it up later.
And just to kind of give my quick opinion on it, I watched the video, and I'm not going to give the only bias I'm going to have is I'm not normally one who watches John Oliver.
Yeah.
But because it was a wrestling related episode, and he even admits in the episode that he is a fan of professional wrestling. So what I did like about it was he approached it as someone who is a fan of professional wrestling who was investigating certain things about the WWE, and I thought it was a good presentation. There are some things that may not be entirely spelled out. But I think that it gives a lot of good facts, and it gives enough information that if it's something you're interested in, again, I totally agree with you. I encourage you, go and do your own research, check it out, and see how you feel, on a personal level to the things that a lot of the wrestlers and entertainers and people who are promoting it, have to do to make that a successful business.
It is also not family friendly. So,
the video is not. Yeah, absolutely.
Very much not, because he's British and on HBO. So
yeah, I was going to say, Last Week Tonight is on HBO, so and it's late night, so keep that in mind when you.
So you've been prefaced.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyhow, so what we're going to do for our versus topic is we're going to go run down this extensively long card.
Painfully long card.
We will do it quickly,
painfully long,
and then we'll come back and I would like to discuss some of the elements of storytelling when it comes to building this card for WrestleMania, and then also how we might be able to learn something from it in running games and things like that. So what we'll do is we're going to go run down the card, and then we will tell you who we have picked as the winner for that match. Personally,
this is in no particular order. We have no idea. The only thing we know about the order of the card is that the women's main event, which we'll talk about more, the main event will be the women's titles main event.
Yeah.
Sorry, the women's titles match between Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, and Becky Lynch. We do know that is the final match of the night, the main event of the show. That's the only thing we know.
Main eventing WrestleMania, which is already a really cool point. Yeah, I was going to say that
story
that deserves its own.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so, again, not in any particular order, just kind of what we found online and then what we were updated with after watching the last episode of the, as they say, the go-home show for SmackDown.
And I just verified it also on NoDQ also.
Okay.
They released a final card.
Okay, cool. So we've got the Women's Battle Royal. So we'll go ahead. We're just going to do this in the same order. We'll start with Joshie, go to Deb, and then go to me. So, Joshie.
After watching SmackDown tonight, I think Nikki Cross has a good chance.
Nikki Cross looks so awesome.
That was just entertaining to watch.
I love her.
Walk around on Shelton's back. It was funny.
Yep. Deb.
Asuka.
Okay.
Asuka's strong. I don't think that they've been utilizing her nearly as well as they should have been. That's another point in another show. But Asuka.
Okay. And then my pick is Ruby Riott. Because I feel like, similar to Nikki Cross, she's a phenomenal talent. She's great on the mic, great in the ring.
From Indiana.
Yes.
There's a little hometown thing going right there.
And she hasn't gotten a good upwards push.
That'd be a good one.
And she needs one. And especially with the women's tag team titles, I think that the Riott Squad, and if Sanity can pick up another lady, or if she goes over to a different tag, I think Nikki Cross would be a great member in the tag team division.
She needs to go back to Sanity.
She does.
To be a thing.
Yeah, it does. They were a phenomenal stable in NXT, but and I guess I didn't explain what the conditions of the match for the Women's Battle Royal, but I will explain what the conditions of the match for the Andre the Giant Men's Battle Royal are, because they're the exact same.
Good plan.
So if you've never watched a Battle Royal,
not the Royal Rumble,
but
Battle
it's
Royal.
similar. It's similar. It's the match type is a Battle Royal. You have multiple people in the ring.
Oh no, there's actually a difference.
Oh, right, because the Battle Royal starts with everybody in the ring.
Exactly.
Right, that's right. Everybody's in the ring when the Battle Royal starts versus the Royal Rumble, which has individuals coming out every like 3
90 seconds.
minutes,
90 seconds or
There we
2
go.
minutes?
First, it's usually the first is like 2 to 5 minutes. No, in the Royal Rumble, it's 90
It's
seconds.
90 seconds. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So, Battle Royal rules, everyone is in the ring at the same time. You get eliminated if you get thrown over the ropes and both of your feet touch the ground.
Over the top rope.
Over the top rope. Yeah.
Can't go in between a rope.
That's right. And both of your feet touch the ground.
Touch the ground, not a
which
step.
which is insanely important when
Yes.
you are talking about some
Kofi Kingston.
more athletic people that have been in
Or
battle
Naomi.
royals.
Or Naomi, yes.
What was the gal who
the
was
gymnast.
in she was
Katie
in the
Catanzaro?
Yeah,
her. Yeah,
Casey Catanzaro. sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
Casey. Yeah,
Yeah.
Who was in the Ninja Warrior stuff and yeah.
Also dating Ricochet.
Random.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There
Is
you
she
go.
in NXT or is she in development? Okay,
She's in NXT.
that's awesome. Yeah, she's great.
Not like on all the time NXT, but she's in NXT.
She's working on. Okay, good. Okay, so Andre the Giant, men's battle royal. Joshy, who's your pick?
You know, the big thing about this match is they're doing a big publicity stunt with Michael Che and Colin Jost from Saturday Night Live, and it all stems around Braun Strowman. So I have no doubt in my mind that this is Braun Strowman's match to win.
Okay, Debbie, who you got?
So, because literally the possibilities are endless with this match.
I forgot who your pick was until just now.
Because no one has told me I can't. I'm
Yeah.
glaring at my husband at the moment.
Yeah.
You absolutely can.
I am picking Hornswoggle
Yes.
to win the Andre the
So
Giant
fantastic.
Battle Royal.
So fantastic.
Because I love irony, people.
Yeah.
And come on, see, watching Hornswoggle stand up, I can actually totally see Braun Strowman like come over and be like, like lift his hand up or something. Can't you totally see it? Just like, this guy,
That's great.
these hands, something like that. I think it'd be
His
funny.
tag partner from last year's
Nicholas?
WrestleMania, Nicholas. is good too.
There you go.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. I chose Big E
Yeah.
Big E
because
Yeah.
from the New Day.
from the New Day. That's right. Because I feel like he's a guy.
It's
He's going to be in the
a new
battle
day.
because they're not fighting in the
It's
tag
A new
match
day.
that I know of.
Well,
And,
they might change tomorrow.
And I know that there's been rumors about them wanting to do a push with Big E here and there, but but again, I don't know because of the Kofi Kingston thing that we'll get into later. Okay, next match we have on the card is the Cruiserweight Championship between Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese.
Though I have seen a little bit of the story and the fact that Tony Nese won the tournament to get number one contender, I still think Buddy Murphy's on such a roll that
That
he's
dude
going to
is
retain
insane.
it.
He's insane.
I'm going to be the random person and say I think Tony Nese upsets, and I
Sure.
think he kicks it because
Sure.
he's gaining some momentum and doing well.
And because it's a random pick.
Exactly. Because I
Flip a
don't...
coin.
She
I
mental point.
said it was fun to spell his name, and that's
There
a
you
cool
go.
last name. Let's go with it.
There we go. Yeah, I chose Tony Nese as well. We went to SmackDown Live when it was here in Indianapolis. We didn't get a chance to watch that match, the finals for his number one
Right.
contendership
You can
match.
watch it on the WWE.
But yeah,
Network.
if you got the WWE,
This is
Yeah,
why
that
we're not
thing.
radio.
if
WWE.
you've got the WWE
Blah, blah, blah.
network, you can watch Tony Nese in 205 live in the finals for the number one contendership of the Cruiserweight Championship match against Buddy Murphy. Anyway, I chose Tony.
Well, he faced Cedric Alexander and beat Cedric Alexander.
Right.
Okay.
I know. I didn't say that he beat Tony Nese.
Okay.
That would be weird.
I said that he was in the finals for the number one contendership
Okay.
for the Cruiserweight
Sure.
Champion.
Is anybody
right.
else lost?
That's
Because
all right.
anyway.
Okay, so the next match is a end of the road match for Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist wrestler, multi-time champion for both the World Wrestling Entertainment and TNA. He is wrestling
And New Japan, actually. He ran the IWGP
I
Championship
didn't know
also.
that.
Yep.
That's cool. Okay, well, there you go.
There you go.
I learned something.
There you go.
I chose. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is a match against Kurt Angle and the former commissioner of SmackDown.
So he was
Wow.
he was the guy that took over for Kurt Angle when Kurt Angle was put on permanent vacation.
Yeah, fake.
So
fake.
he was-
Fake.
You're right. He was the interim general manager
Right.
when Kurt Angle was the general manager. Yeah. So Kurt's just getting revenge.
Yeah.
is
So they're
what they're
booked
going
in a,
with.
they're booked in a retirement match, basically.
Yeah.
With Kurt
Well,
Angle.
Kurt's retiring.
He's
this is
retired.
not a win or lose. It's not
he's
he
retired.
loses, he retires. He's retiring.
Yeah, this is so.
So, which is why I picked Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
Because unlike the other matches where they are setting it up that if you lose, you're done.
yeah,
This one we already know he's done.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I think you're going to get the yay. But
The angle
we've had the
slam
conversation.
and the- yeah.
We've had the conversation about the standards for WWE and whether or not a person goes out on their
Yeah,
back
it's-
and etc.
I mean, it's not like WWE ever breaks their own rules.
Correct.
So I can expect. Deb, who do you think?
My wife loves the fact that I totally contradict half the arguments when I go into these conversations.
Yeah.
Yes, because he was the one who taught me about this whole go out on your back
true.
and do the
It's true.
honorable
It's true. The
Japanese
veterans
thing.
go out.
That's
right.
because the majority of the
he
time
taught
that's what
me this
happens.
stuff, and yet he's like, that's not what's going to happen in this match. And I'm just staring at him
But
like,
in the
what
same,
the
in the same
flip
respect,
are you doing?
In the same respect, the Undertaker.
Lost to Roman Reigns.
It's not out yet.
Lost to Brock
He
Lesnar.
has
He's
not
not in
officially
WrestleMania.
retired.
Maybe that's why
Well,
I'm not thrilled
we
about
don't
this
know
WrestleMania.
that. He's there.
Yeah.
He's totally.
Ooh.
As far as I know, he's supposed to be in town.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
That could be interesting. As far as I know, he's supposed to be
The
in
Dead
town.
Man?
I didn't know he was going to be in town.
I mean,
I'm totally
he's the
changing
Dead
my
Man.
vote.
It has
He's the
not
Dead
been
Man.
confirmed yet.
He's the
I'm
Dead
totally changing my vote, y'all. Under the
Because
Giant Battle Royal, Undertaker.
Apparently, Kane and Bray Wyatt are also in town, but the Undertaker's not been confirmed yet.
Yeah.
For anything.
So anyway, all right. Well, in the Angle versus Corbin match,
Yeah.
if you are picking Angle to win, then I'm picking Cena to beat Angle.
Oh, okay. That's
Nice.
fair.
Nice.
I think Corbin's going to do something stupid, or he's just not going to fight him at all because
Yeah.
he's a big fat weenie.
Yeah.
And then Cena's going to be in the front row, and Cena, being the honorable, upstanding, fruity pebbles awesome that he is going to say, he deserves a match. He deserves his last match of WrestleMania.
No, you know what
I'll
he
fight you at the
deserves?
WrestleMania, and
You know
he'll.
what he deserves?
Oh.
Ruthless
Ruthless
aggression.
If you haven't seen that, look up John Cena's debut against Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Which is where all this comes to fruition.
Well, can't you just see him totally doing that on the mic, though?
Yeah.
Corbin runs away, and Cena gets up there and does it, and then takes off his shirt and does this like a fool, and is like, "Bruh, let's do this." So I say
John Cena getting the win
over Angle, which would
work
then
out
go.
too because Angle beat Cena in his debut match. So that's
Yeah.
the same.
But Cena would
What
do
would-
it in an
what would
honorable,
be-
good guy way.
So I'm gonna frame this all and tie it all together.
Great big bow,
Baron Corbin doesn't fight Kurt Angle.
right?
John Cena fights Kurt Angle. John Cena defeats Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle goes to the back. The Undertaker looks him dead in the face. And then just like shakes his head, pats him on the back, and they walk to the back.
No.
That would be
Now I'll be crying.
because that's if you're gonna frame it
Right.
like that. That's exactly what did Undertaker tell John Cena after his first match with Kurt Angle?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
He pat him on the back and he
That's a
said,
good job.
"Good job, kid."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he
I
could
can
pat him on the
see.
back
Oh,
and
that was
That's
the-
why I did it that
I-
way.
I-
Good job,
There's
kid.
the frame.
Nice.
You like that
Nice.
storytelling?
You know,
And I would
storytelling,
cry.
exactly.
Storytelling.
And I would be like
Right.
all teary and like,
Kurt
you know,
Angle
have
gets
the
defeated by John
sniff,
Cena.
sniff.
I don't care if he wins or loses. This
Yeah.
guy's crying.
Yeah.
Like, it'll happen.
Undertaker
I-
pats him on
yeah.
his back and says, "Good job, kid."
Good job, kid.
Because I was at the Hall of Fame induction, and that was
Yeah.
a blubbery mess.
Yeah. Okay.
This
fair
is
enough.
why we should write WWE.
Yes. Maybe that's the
because
reason
that
why.
is the frame
It is.
that
Right.
everyone wants.
Everyone
As
wants
any
that whole
good
thing.
storyteller can tell you, here's how you tell the story,
Right.
writers.
Absolutely, I chose Baron Corbin.
Okay.
All right, so we can go to the next.
Mine was way better. Don't y'all think? Isn't mine better? See?
Yeah, because I am not taking into consideration John Cena being there, though he probably will be. All right, so we've got The Miz and Shane McMahon in a Falls Count Anywhere grudge match that, in my opinion, up until we went to SmackDown 2 weeks ago, I was kind of iffy on. And once The Miz came out and dropped his promo that he did, I was 1,000,000% invested in this match.
Sold.
Miz versus Shane McMahon, Falls Count Anywhere.
The Miz. I'm going with The Miz because this is he needs a good WrestleMania moment.
I agree.
To end, he's lost like a bunch here recently after they won the SmackDown tag titles, they retained them and then lost them, and then Shane turned on him, and then though he got the win tonight on SmackDown against Sanity, I still think that he comes out on top, and his dad and him have this great father-son moment, and I think it'll be good.
I agree. I actually do not disagree. I think it'll be The Miz. The Miz performs well. I know it never happens, everybody, but I just agreed with Josh. Miz is there, as Josh likes to remind me on a very regular basis. Miz is the workhorse. He does a great job in the ring. He does a great job in promos. He's one of those guys that they always count on when they need somebody to do really well. So I think that they reward him, and I think he wins at WrestleMania.
So, the next pay-per-view, because I'm looking ahead, is in Saudi Arabia.
Right?
I believe that's correct.
Which is where Shane McMahon became the best in the world.
Okay.
Have another match.
I chose Shane McMahon to win this match.
Okay.
Falls Count Anywhere, rematch in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So that Miz can become the new
best
in the world at Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, and also because you can't choose the face to win every match because it's never going to happen. You know what I mean? It's never going to happen. Yeah.
I don't think I have.
But yeah, I chose Shane McMahon because I think it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of pitfalls in a Falls Count Anywhere match. No pun intended. Yeah.
I see
Don't
what you
fall
did
in
there.
the pit, Miz or Shane, please.
Please don't.
But
Shane,
yeah,
I'm talking to you.
it will
You're the
be
one
a
who's gonna
good
do
match, in
something
my
stupid.
opinion, regardless of what happens, as long as everybody stays healthy. And safe.
Shane's going to do something stupid.
I mean, he will, but Miz will take care of him.
Right,
Because
it's
Miz
true.
is a great worker.
Yeah.
Okay. The Women's Tag Team Championship match. So if you are not aware, the WWE has issued new tag team titles for the women's division. And I believe they did that at Fastlane. To which...
The Elimination Chamber.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. To which Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Boss and Hug Connection, I think is what they're being called.
Sadly, yes, that is what they're called.
That's such a bad team name.
God bless you, Don. That's what I thought the whole time. I'm like,
that's all
no.
it is my opinion, but I don't like it.
I don't either. Josh is like,
Even if it
I'm
was like
no.
the Boss and Bayley connection, I feel like would be better than the Boss and
She's the
Hug
hugger, and Sasha is the boss.
The boss, yes, but with the hug, you're like, who loves to hug their boss? I don't hug my boss. That's weird.
It just hasn't grown on me. Okay. That's all. It just hasn't grown on me.
Iconic.
It died on me.
Iconic.
It died on me.
Them.
Bury it.
All right, so
bury it.
The Fatal 4-Way for the women's tag team title match is between the current champions, the Boss and Hug Connection, who is Sasha Banks and Bayley. And then they are going to be challenged by
everyone.
Nia Jax and Tamina as a team. Beth Phoenix, former retired female athlete for Hall of Famer, yeah. So Beth Phoenix and Natalia are going to be wrestling as a team, which I think is going to be, in my opinion, they are the best tacticians in that match.
Yeah.
They are going to be so good.
Yeah.
And then,
skill set,
of course, the Iconics! So if you're not familiar with the Iconics, they are a female tag team from Australia.
New Zealand.
New Zealand. They are a female tag team from the Southern Hemisphere. Somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. They're possibly Aussie, maybe Kiwi, we're not really sure.
Filipino, he said.
They have great accents, even better mic skills.
Yeah.
Oh my heavens.
Ring skills, still working on.
Mic
skills,
yeah.
They got it.
Yeah. But, Joshy, who's your pick for this match?
Sasha and Bayley.
To retain.
Because come Sasha and Bayley, and then at the end of the night when Becky Lynch.
Shut up.
Yep.
You had me a hello.
Yep. Hello.
I'm so down for that.
Come on. Yeah.
So what do you do with Charlotte, who just lost her title?
Anything you want.
Put her in a crybaby angle to where she has to redeem herself to her friends, and then you join them all back together to become the 4 horsewomen of the apocalypse. And then Ronda Rousey gets her 3 friends from NXT, and then you have a Survivor Series match, 4-on-4, the 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen. Did I just write the next 6 months of wraszling?
We did.
You did.
We've had this conversation
in 37 seconds. I think something
that's
close to that.
That's what I want in life, right there. But anyway, Shayna Baszler. Yes,
Baszler.
Whoa,
Shayna Baszler. That's right.
Gazoon
Sorry.
Oh, that's right. She's an option for the women's Rumble too. Jeez. Sorry.
She won't win it. It's all right.
I doubt she would win it at this point.
Could.
Anyway.
Kyrie Sane could too.
So this is where I struggle. Not really. I think Bayley and Sasha retain. I love Natalya, and I can't wait to see Natalya and Beth Phoenix's wrestling work. I love watching Natalya wrestle because she can wrestle. She was. She graduated from the dungeon, for heaven's sake. So I love watching her wrestling skills are so good. But she's not going to win.
The only woman to graduate from Stu Hart's
The only
dungeon.
woman who graduated from the dungeon.
5 of the 8 women in that match, I would be confident in saying are pretty decent wrestlers.
Right. The Iconics, no. And
Nia.
Nia, no.
Nia scares me.
Oh, I was like, who's the 5th? And then I was like, it's got to be Tamina.
Tamina.
Tamina Snuka scares me, but at least I'd feel safe.
Right.
I think that Nia would kill me.
Noses and give people
She's called the Samoan Destroyer or something right now.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, anyway, no. So Sasha Bayley retain. I think it makes the most sense, but
well, I chose the obvious winners, the Iconics.
The ones who can't wrestle. Sorry, who don't have the skill sets. They don't have the skill sets.
They're not Beth Phoenix. Okay, well, but
they're not even Sasha and Bayley.
Carmella won the women's title, and she's not nearly the performer that Becky Lynch.
No, she has improved so much.
She's fantastic, and so have the Iconics. But
I didn't love Carmella either.
That's okay.
Right, I know.
She's gotten in a position where she's really going to be successful. The reason why the Iconics would work is because they'd be perfect as the cross-brand tag team.
Yeah.
Because everyone would hate them.
Everyone would hate them.
That's
Everyone
true.
would hate them, and they're proper heels.
They have proper heels.
They are proper heels because they cheat to win.
And
they go
come
out
heels.
and they burn heat like crazy, and they get away with a lot. They are the Bella Twins from 6-8 years ago, right?
Or
like
still.
Or yesterday.
I was going to say, have you seen
the Bella Twins don't.
No, they
tag
both have
team wrestle,
retired.
but I'm saying they are the twin magic.
They are.
Of this new age of.
They kind of even have the hair going. Well, the one lady kind of has that black hair going.
Yeah, I chose them. I think, to be completely honest, unless Beth Phoenix is coming back for an extended run, then that's not going to happen. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
But it reminds me a lot of the team of Lita and Trish Stratus coming back for the Women's Battle Royal last year.
Right.
It's awesome to see them in the ring.
You wanted it, but you knew that there was no way.
But a one-time shot kind of thing, which I'm totally fine with. I think they're going to be great. Okay, United States Championship. This is Samoa Joe and currently Rey Mysterio. He was injured on Raw, may have tweaked an ankle, but we'll see. He may be fine to go out there. It may just be a swerve. We'll see. So yeah, go for it.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Even if they replace Rey Mysterio, I still think Joe walks out.
Yeah. What do you got, Deb?
I agree. I think Joe retains. He's champion right now, and I think it's great.
As I said, you just said it. Not all faces can win.
That's true, and I think we're all unanimous on this one. I think Samoa Joe goes in there. He had a really, really good showing against Mustafa Ali or Ali on SmackDown.
Mustafa.
Yeah. So I think that he's going to do really, really well regardless who he is. And I think that Joe is the right guy to have the U.S. title right now.
Yeah.
He's a worker.
Yeah.
He goes out there. He looks good. He can do anything. He's
strong.
quick. He's strong.
Yeah.
He does top rope stuff. He does divey stuff. He's a good all-around performer.
He's a friend of Jeff Jarrett.
He's a friend of Jeff Jarrett. He's also a story writer right now for WWE.
Just saying. Anyway. you so much.
And he's a friend of AJ Styles.
That's right.
Yeah, so there you go.
And I think that would be a really cool angle, is to have them, maybe not right now because I know they're
Again?
just fresh out, but with him having the title.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Remember,
having the U.S.
they had
title. I know, but that's what I'm saying. Not right now, but I think eventually, if they give him a nice long run with that U.S. title, it'd be cool to see maybe him, or even if Daniel Bryan, is strapless at the time, and maybe he can. We'll get to that. All right, next match up is the Intercontinental Championship with Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley. Finn, the Demon Balor, and Bobby Lashley.
As a result of them announcing that he will be showing up at WrestleMania as the Demon, and the only person currently on the roster to have defeated his Demon persona is Samoa Joe, I believe it's a no-brainer that Finn Balor walks out Intercontinental Champion, as he should, because this whole storyline has been silly with the
fact that they
having
took
beat
it-
Bobby, then have Bobby take it back, and now they're going to... They should have just left it on Bobby and had it culminate at WrestleMania. It was a waste of our time to do the switch.
Yeah, it's
I
silly.
appreciated Finn as the champ, but I'll appreciate it more as the Demon.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that he has been on such a low key, nothing run, that I really think what revitalizes him in this match is the Demon, and bringing the Demon back as a steady on character. Maybe not necessarily. I mean, like they did in NXT.
Yeah, as a pay-per-view
Bring it back
character.
as a pay-per-view character. Have him burn, white hot until the pay-per-view, and then have him come out and do the Demon thing. And I think that's really, really good stuff. So, all right. So you've got Balor.
Yep.
Deb, who do you got?
Balor.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
he makes them.
Yeah, he makes the most sense. He makes the most sense, and he's a
needs
worker.
this. He's a worker.
Yeah.
He does great ring work. I do not understand why they tend to.
So does Bobby
Bobby
Lashley.
Lashley does too. And he's extremely athletic for a big guy.
I could do without the whole almighty gimmick, but other than that,
Yeah,
I'm on
it's
board.
no, I'm done.
I think they're
no.
doing a great job with him.
Yeah.
They
Well,
really are.
and also,
There is one Almighty, sir, and I'm pretty sure
What
he
is-
doesn't look like that.
what is the name of Leo Rush?
Yeah.
Leo Rush.
Sorry,
I think
Captain
Leo
America's
Rush
never
is
wrong.
a really good corner man for him too. Bobby Lashley's not bad on the mic, but Leo Rush is better.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good combination, and those two can turn into a Jimmy Hart and a big monster wrestler who can just go out there and trash people.
I think
in
I would enjoy
30
watching Leo
seconds.
Rush against Paul Heyman. I think I would enjoy that.
That would be good. I think that would be really
Mike
good.
battle? Oh,
and
yeah.
those two, I mean, Brock and Bobby, I think would put on a monster of a show with
That's
just two
too
big
big.
dudes going
Yeah.
nuts on
Bobby
each other.
wants Brock bad.
Yeah.
He's been saying that for years.
I think it would be really
He
good.
wants to
And you've
fight
got
Brock
two
Lesnar.
guys. You got two guys who are former retired MMA guys. Bobby Lashley did a stint in MMA, did really well for himself. Brock Lesnar, obviously, former UFC champ.
Yeah. I think their size would look good against each other too.
Yeah, I mean
that
they're
would
both
look really-
humongous.
yeah,
They're both
exactly.
humongous, and they both have great managers.
Yeah.
I think that is
That'd be a
a
good
contest
setup.
that would be really cool to watch.
You could do some great build up. I mean, some amazing promos.
But in order to get to that, we have to see what happens with a match that we have later on the card. So we'll
That is very
get to that
true.
in a second as well.
That is true.
All right, next match we have is Triple H versus Batista. This is a no-holds-barred match
Another grudge match.
in which if Triple H loses, he can no longer perform in the ring. And if Batista loses, he's already chosen to no longer perform.
He's already chosen to not perform.
I'm pretty sure this is his last match, unless something crazy happens. Anyway, so, Joshy?
Triple H is winning this match because of the reasons I gave earlier. Because I don't think it's time for Triple H just yet.
Yeah.
But now, mind you, I was wrong about Shawn Michaels too. I didn't think Shawn Michaels was going out when he went out. So
But he's
I
come
could be
back.
wrong. Huh? Well, yeah.
He's come back.
He came back for a really big payday, and even he himself was like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Batista is going to get. They're going to beat the bejesus out of each other, but
It's going to be good. I suspect somebody is going to get just splayed open, but I don't
probably.
know.
But yeah,
I mean, no holds barred.
No holds barred, no rules.
It kind of hands it.
This WrestleMania, we should have a guess. We should talk about how many tables are going to get broken in this one, because I don't think it's going to be one. I think we're talking a lot of tables.
I really look forward to Pro Wrestling Scorecards' card this year to see
what they put on there. Yeah.
Well, and then it's going to be 3 pages long.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's like a book. All right.
Check them out, by the way. Pro Wrestling Scorecards on Twitter.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Who did you have, Deb?
I had H. I had Triple H. I think he stays.
I have Triple H as well.
Yeah, I think Batista. I think H beats him. I think it's one of those, I'm still around and I can still hold it in the ring kind of a thing. I think he goes out. I don't think his last match will be against Batista. I think
and I also think that when you look at it, I think Triple H's last match goes out against Randy Orton, but that's just me. I think that would be
I can see that.
Or possibly John Cena, but.
I think Orton. But anyway,
I think Orton is poetic because he brought Orton up, and that was their stable, and Orton plays a phenomenal heel.
Yes,
and I think that
he could totally be there.
Good.
Or what is it, the Legend Killer? I mean, that would be.
Man, we haven't seen the Legend Killer Randy Orton in
wouldn't that be
millennia almost.
No, but he's getting ready to try out his hands as the independent killer.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Speaking of which. I chose Triple H too, just to cover that. I wanted to make sure
for the AJ Randy Orton match?
I couldn't remember if I had said what my pick was.
I think you did, but anyway, still, fair enough.
So the next match on our card is AJ Styles Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. This is just a straight up grudge match. Let's beat the ever-loving poo out of each other.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, for the 3-week build-up that it's had, great story.
Good stuff.
Randy's been with WWE for 20 years. AJ worked for 15 years, including getting a tan in Orlando, which was one of the best lines I'd ever heard. And then tonight was you were making money in front of high schoolers while you were violating drug policies. It was just
great.
It was great.
What's interesting to me, now that I think about this in perspective, I know that the storyline is that Randy Orton is giving AJ Styles such a huge, ordeal about being on the independents. If you look at the time spent on indies versus the time that he wrestled for WCW and TNA and New Japan.
Right.
And Ring of Honor.
And Ring of Honor.
I would consider Ring of Honor probably, and then whatever he did under Ring of Honor, to be the closest to indies that he was in. But New Japan, that's not. That's not an indies crowd.
That's not indie.
When you're talking about Chris Jericho wrestled for New Japan, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, all those guys wrestled for New Japan.
Well, and when AJ was with Impact or TNA at the time, it was not what it is.
It wasn't an indie. It wasn't an indie crowd. It wasn't at the same echelon as the WWE, but it still had that nationwide exposure. They had televised shows. They had a really good product, depending on the wrestler that you're looking at. They had some pretty innovative matches, and their X Division, in my opinion, probably one of the hardest working group of wrestlers on a professional, semi-professional.
By the way, you remember Rich Swann?
Yeah.
He's the current X Division champion in Impact.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
Anyways, I think AJ Styles beats Randy Orton.
Okay.
Because AJ, he lost last year's WrestleMania, if I remember. Or am I wrong? He beat Shane, and I don't remember what he did last year. Was he in the WWE Championship match?
Yeah, he was in the Championship match. Yeah, he was one of the main eventers because we were because anything AJ touches is phenomenal.
Yeah, because he didn't drop the title until a SmackDown to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. But but I thought he gained it after that.
Anyways, he might have. Anyway, I'm nearly positive.
Oh yeah,
he
did.
Year.
He was in the match with Shinsuke, and he beat Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it. Yes, thank you. I was going to say I know he won.
I'm still going to say AJ wins, but now that I've gone back through that, Randy Orton has the best chance. Go ahead.
Once we talk him through it, folks, then we get the real truth.
Because like many of my friends.
How come I remembered that AJ was in the WrestleMania? What the flip world is this?
Because Deb, no offense, but you're only keeping track of one pay-per-view a year.
That's true. That is very true.
I got 14.
I do know that Seth Rollins won in the Royal Rumble, so I do know that much.
That is a fact.
That's true.
Then Becky Lynch won won it as well, but then she went anyway. That's later. I think AJ wins because he has the best hair.
Oh.
I'm sorry. This is a terrible joke that we have with a good friend of ours.
Soccer mom hair.
We discussed that AJ has the best soccer mom hair of anybody out there, and it doesn't matter what he's doing. All he has to do is just This fling,
That's it.
It still looks fantastic. And there's like 17 photo ops right there.
He's a major gamer.
Oh, yes.
Major.
And that's true. I've got to love. I mean,
Future
he's
up,
a gamer.
down champion.
Yeah. So Randy Orton is my pick.
Heart. Okay, you're
Randy Orton's your pick?
Randy Orton is my pick for the AJ Styles.
It wouldn't
Randy
surprise
Orton
me.
match.
I hope AJ wins, but meh.
I mean,
I want AJ to win.
here's the thing. AJ Styles, Randy Orton,
Yeah.
cannot go wrong.
Right.
Either direction you go. Both of them are phenomenal performers.
Whatever.
Randy
There's nothing
Orton
on
is
the line. There's no
extremely
title
safe,
on the line.
And he looks really great when he wrestles. AJ Styles is a nutball and will do just about anything.
Yep. And looks phenomenal when he wrestles.
All right.
So
we got 15 minutes left. Before we hit the last three on your the last five, I want to real quick jump to the SmackDown Tag Title match that got announced tonight.
That's fine.
Because the rest of these all kind of have story-driven stuff that we can kind of try and talk about in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So the SmackDown Tag Title match, which was announced during tonight's SmackDown, as a result of the Usos refusing to fight the New Day in the story with Kofi, which we can talk a little more. The Usos now have to face The Bar, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Rusev, and Aleister Black and Ricochet in a fatal four-way for the SmackDown Tag Titles.
Yeah.
I believe that Ricochet and Aleister Black will finally get those tag titles if they don't win them at TakeOver on Friday night.
Yeah.
They're still my pick right now, but if they win them on a TakeOver, I'd be surprised if they won them at WrestleMania.
I vote for Nakamura and Rusev because we need more Rusev days.
Amen. Love me some Rusev days.
That is a whole podcast on how much they dropped the ball on Rusev Day.
I'm gonna say
Nakamura.
I know,
but we can talk about that. We can do that.
WWE's dropping the ball. That is the name of an episode.
That's it.
That could be our new podcast. If there's up, down, down, we can be dropping the ball.
Dropping the ball with the WWE.
With the WWE.
Let's not do that.
Not because it'd be all negative. It'd be no fun.
No,
Yeah.
but there are times when they catch the ball beautifully, like the women's match.
Dropping it.
No.
Anyways.
Yeah, so my choice is the Usos retain.
Usos.
Yeah.
None of us are going to. And oddly enough, guess what? Who probably win? The Bar, the one none of us picked. But
I love the Bar. I love a good Cesaro and Sheamus matchup. Anyway, all right. So the last
four.
Yeah, the last four matches
that we know.
You're right. Are very heavily story driven. Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre are just beating the ever-loving snot out of each other.
It's another sort of grudge match.
Drew beat up Drew beat up Roman Reigns, and Drew beat up Dean Ambrose,
and then Drew beat up Seth Rollins.
And then Drew sometimes has beat up Seth Rollins, and then he's also teamed up with Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin. Frankly, Drew McIntyre just needs a whooping.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns has already given a whooping to leukemia, so he figured that Drew McIntyre was the next person on his list.
That sounds good. I mean,
I would agree with that, except that I chose Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, so did I.
That's depressing, because so did I.
Oh,
yes! That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
Because Roman Reigns doesn't need the win.
He doesn't.
He
already has the moral and social victory.
Yeah, the moral, ethical, medical victory here.
And he is a former champ.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre? Mm-hmm. Not yet.
Right. He needs the push.
He's a former Intercontinental?
To be
yes, and NXT champion.
And NXT.
Yeah.
And Impact champion, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he
needs a heavyweight champ push. He has got a great character. He looks amazing in the ring.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he took, Reigns, who obviously, for those who hadn't heard, back in October, announced that his leukemia had come back, that he had fought away 11 years ago, which none of us even knew. And then 4 months afterwards, he declared that he was in remission and has since been wrestling at least every other week, including a big Shield reunion right before Dean Ambrose is ready to walk out the door, which was a great reunion that included Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Baron Corbin, and they got the win there. So Reigns got the win there. Reigns got a win, I don't remember against who, on a Monday Night Raw, and I think he's beaten somebody else. And then Drew McIntyre has gotten the upper hand in a few non-matches against Reigns. So we're ready for a balance, but the big story here being that McIntyre wants to make a name off of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
McIntyre left for 3 or 4 years and realized he needed to grow up, joined a few other wrestling organizations, got himself in better shape,
learned some stuff,
learned some things, and then came back and is ready to go. And I think, especially with the Lunatic Fringe probably leaving in April, might as well replace him with a Scottish Psychopath.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. That'll be a knockdown, drag out, the good old fashioned wrestling match, but it won't be fancy because they're just hard hitters.
Because they're power dudes.
Yeah,
they are power dudes.
H and Batista, I don't think it's going to be
no,
pretty
but it's
either.
no holds barred. So the thing
Yeah.
there
They can
is
use weapons.
yeah.
They can go backstage.
they
They
can
don't
also-
have. I mean,
yeah.
they still have in a no holds barred match. You still have to pin the guy in the ring
Right.
to win.
Yes.
It's not a false count anywhere, which is what Shane and Miz are.
Shane and Miz are, right.
But they can literally destroy everything in that building,
Right.
and then somebody pins somebody else in the ring.
Right. Whereas
So-
Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre is a classic
It is a straight up
match
match.
for pin or submission.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
look at the different, like, just the basic matches, not even really basic matches, but of the standard rules match, between Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese being the high flyers, and AJ and Randy Orton being very technical, and now Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre kind of fit into that power mold. It's a good balance, so you can see the different styles that WWE has to offer.
And they've got some good mix and match stuff in there, obviously, with Balor and Lashley and some other matches.
Angle versus Cena. That'll be a good.
That'll be a good old man match.
Exactly.
Just keep speaking that into existence. honey.
I will. I'll keep putting it out there to the air. Vince, hear me. Or H, hear me.
But it'll be good, and I think it's entertaining that we all chose McIntyre. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next.
I'm going to save this next one for last.
Oh, we're gonna flip that one to
Versus
last.
women's?
Really?
No, I'll do
Okay.
it. I'll do Seth Rollins and
Okay.
Brock Lesnar first.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Universal Heavyweight Championship match. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, former Shield agent, Shield member.
He was never in any of the Marvel movies, Don. I'm pretty sure.
But he
I've
did
watched them all.
dust, so none of the WWE roster dusted. So
That's true.
that's good.
Thank goodness.
Except Dean Ambrose, he's on a delayed dusting.
He's on a delayed dusting, yeah.
He'll dust right around the time the new movie
The
comes
new
out.
movie comes out.
I was curious about EC3 for a little while, and all of a sudden I saw him in a match. Okay, so Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar. This is for the
Words
Universal
are hard.
Championship match.
The world
It is
title for Raw.
Yeah, it is the world title for Raw. It's the pretty red belt.
It's grown on me. I don't care. I love it.
I love it too. Who's your choice?
Who's my choice?
Yeah.
I'm going with Rollins, preparing for Lesnar.
Yeah. What do you got, Deb? John Cena?
Undertaker. No, not even close. I sort of almost hate myself for it, but I'm gonna pick Lesnar.
What?
I hate it.
What?
I think they're gonna keep it on Lesnar until they go to Saudi Arabia. I think they want to use.
I
Lesnar
chose
in
Seth
Arabia.
Rollins.
Okay.
I picked Raw. I picked Lesnar.
so-
No, I'm ashamed of myself.
Okay.
Why did I pick Lesnar?
The story here is
Because it makes
actually
sense.
it's a pretty simple one, and it's to the point.
It's Goliath versus David.
Back in October.
That's the case. Then Rollins should win.
Well, it's not that. Back in October, when Roman Reigns announced his leukemia, he had to give up the title.
Vacate the title.
And
Right.
it was Lesnar and Braun Strowman for the championship, oddly enough, in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And frankly, they went with Brock Lesnar because Brock is the safe bet while they go to figure out what they're going to do with Reigns gone.
I
So
thought they
they've
should have
got-
put it on Braun at that
They've
point.
got 3 months now to figure out who's going to win the Rumble, and then that person who wins the Rumble can go after Lesnar and possibly beat him. The advantage of having Rollins do it is Rollins is Reigns' friend, and he wants to stand for the same thing that Reigns did when he got the title off Lesnar the first time, which was it needed to bring it back to Raw.
Right,
Yeah,
I'll be your
absolutely.
fighting champion. I'll
Right.
be here every week, and I'll
Right.
that was
So,
the sell.
win or
Yeah.
lose, which there's lots of reasons behind that, Lesnar got the title back as a safety precaution, like it or not, for the WWE to figure out what they were going to do now that they've lost their big star.
All right.
Now, luckily, they've got their big star back, and they may be able to change a little bit of gears in the future. But ultimately, I think either way, Lesnar or Rollins, I think the WWE is in a better situation than they were 4 months ago.
I agree. I agree.
And Lesnar is not people are not mad at Brock Lesnar and his schedule. They're mad that he's the champion.
Yeah. Because
I don't like that he's the champion. This is why I feel ridiculous saying Lesnar. I don't want him to be, but I think they're going to keep him on a little longer.
When he shows up at a pay-per-view, A, he's a draw.
Oh, yeah.
B, he's a name that everybody recognizes.
Yeah.
And C, he is a really good performer in the ring.
Especially with these little guys.
Both taking and putting out all kinds of different moves. Like when he and Finn Balor went face to face, that match was one of my favorite matches from 2019 so far. It was so good.
It was really good.
He sold so well for Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And I think that, in my opinion, the reason that Seth Rollins wins this match is because it puts the title back on Raw. It gives Brock Lesnar a break if he wants a break. If he doesn't want a break, that's cool.
What does he need a break from? He never comes.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, right, but he also has other physical issues that he deals with on a regular basis that isn't his schedule with the WWE.
Right.
But it also allows for the moment that we all want, which is Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins headlining a pay-per-view where they get to go one-on-one for the title. Which I think is a really good pull.
Because Seth has already told Roman that you will get your shot.
Yeah, I think that is a really, really good story.
You set that up as like the SummerSlam main event? Face versus face?
I hope so.
Yeah. And I think that Seth Rollins still retains, but I think it is a phenomenal match.
Rollins and McIntyre for the next 2 months.
Yeah,
culminating with
I
Reigns
agree.
and Rollins at SummerSlam.
100%, which is why I think I think Drew McIntyre will win and why I think Seth Rollins will win, because I think they're going to go Drew McIntyre on a run for that belt.
I hope so.
And he can't do it.
I hope I'm wrong.
With Brock there.
It's so bizarre.
So,
I hope I'm wrong.
We don't want to cut short anything at 55 minutes.
Okay.
So
that's because they gave us 17
match
million.
card, so
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Your goodness.
So we've got Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan.
Kofi Kingston's been wrestling with the WWE for 11 years.
Yep.
Never had a singles world championship match.
Yep.
Daniel Bryan is on probably one of the best heel runs of his life.
Yeah.
Having replaced the world championship with a that was made of cowhide leather and gold-plated metal and encrusted diamonds, replacing it with wood-carved images on a hemp belt that is attached by Velcro.
With, like, rhinestones and stuff.
All sustainable items because he wants to save the planet.
He is the world's champion.
Kofi Kingston should not have been in this match at all, but when Mustafa Ali went down with a concussion, they had a gauntlet match planned, so they threw Kofi in there. Kofi did as Mustafa Ali was supposed to, but the crowd got so behind him.
He went on a tear. So
he beat 4 of the 6 guys.
4 of the 6 guys. If you're not familiar with a gauntlet match, it's basically you get 2 guys in the ring.
3 of the 6 guys.
You get 2 guys in the ring. The one who wins fights another guy immediately. The one who wins that match fights another guy immediately, and so on and so forth until all of the competitors have gone through. So it's 6-man gauntlet match.
He beat Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, and
AJ Styles?
No, because AJ beat him, and then Randy beat AJ.
That's right.
I cannot for the life of me remember who the 6th guy was.
It's so memorable.
Well, I mean, it was a surprising, like the fact that he beat those 3 guys, as it was, and then AJ was like, "Dude, you don't have to keep doing this." Maybe it was disqualification on the third guy. No, he beat Joe. Whatever.
Yeah, it was a really, really, really good match.
So then he gets put in the elimination chamber. Gets another shot.
Oh my gosh!
To take where Mustafa Ali was.
So good too.
It was, and it came down to Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, and Kofi came real close.
Oh, real close.
And Daniel got the win.
Yeah.
So now the next Tuesday they announce Kofi versus Daniel Bryan at Fastlane, and Vince McMahon cancels the match.
Yeah.
So they spend the next few weeks trying to set this up, and they at Fastlane they lead us to believe that Kofi's going to get his match, but his match is next, which turns out to be a handicap match against the Bar. And thus Mustafa Ali gets put in a triple threat match with Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan for the championship. that Daniel wins. Finally, on Tuesday...
And it didn't get nearly the response that the Kofi Kingston handicap match did.
Right.
Yeah, because when Kofi went up against the bar, like, everybody was on the edge of their seat waiting for Kofi Kingston to pull it out.
Which he didn't, but it was still good.
Right, and the New Day came out to rescue him after they basically were just pummeling the ever-loving poo out of him, and then they got attacked, which I don't understand why they didn't put the New Day in the tag title scene, because they got attacked by Rusev and Nakamura.
Because they were in a match earlier.
Like I know that. Yeah, I know that.
But why wouldn't they be in this one? The SmackDown Tag Team Fatal 4-Way.
Like, it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense.
And then finally, not really finally, the Tuesday after Fastlane, Kofi's like, what do I got to do to earn my spot? Yeah. Next week you've got a gauntlet match, which was in Indianapolis that Don and I were at.
It was
he had to win a gauntlet.
Crazy.
He beat 6 guys.
It was so good.
And then Vince was like, good job. You get it if you can beat this guy, which was Daniel Bryan, the world champion. He didn't beat him.
Right.
Finally,
he had already fought 5 other guys.
We get to the next week, and now the New Day, his tag partners, are like, okay, what are we going to do? Because this is getting ridiculous. We're going to walk out. Vince is like, you're not going to walk out, but I'll give you an opportunity. If you two can win a tag team gauntlet, Kofi gets the tag title match. Gets the WWE Championship match. Yeah. And they won it. And this week, they signed the contract, and finally the match is happening. So
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Why should I believe it?
It's a contract to sign.
It's a contract now.
Kofi Kingston.
So his word means, but the little Mario jump in there. But a signature means something.
Yeah,
but your name, but your word
legally
means crap.
binding.
Yeah, legally binding.
But your word is crap.
Yeah, well,
I might as well just dump.
And you're playing a character.
So I'm going to refer back to the beginning of this episode.
That.
If you watched the John Oliver last week tonight,
yeah,
you'll see some of that.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
But Kofi Kingston's your next WWE champion.
I 100% agree, and I know that I totally skipped Deb, but who do you have, Deb?
It had better be Kofi, or I'm going to throw objects at my television.
Please don't. I like that TV.
Yeah, that's because I know I'm a TV boss. Can you sign a
contract that says if you break the TV, I get another one?
Yes, I will sign it.
Nice.
Because that means that I can throw all of my children's stuffed animals, which weigh all of an ounce, at the television, and the television won't break.
Yeah. And now, the final
I would
match,
throw Tiggy at the match.
both in this episode and for WrestleMania, because it's already booked to be the main event of all main events. The first ever headlining main event performed by women in the WWE. They have had co-main events. They have had their own pay-per-view. They have never headlined WrestleMania, and that is exactly what is going to happen when Ronda Rousey, who is the current WWE Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, who is the current WWE SmackDown Live Women's Champion, and the man, Becky Lynch.
The winner of the
2019 Women's Royal Rumble.
First ever Women's Royal Rumble.
No, second.
It was the second.
Yeah. Asuka won the first.
That's right.
Head to head for
a lot of heads.
All
titles.
Winner takes all.
Winner takes all, which means this is not only the first ever women's headlining main event at WrestleMania, it is the unification of the women's title, which means whoever wins this title will be able to go both.
It is, the unification is not official.
What's winner take all?
It's winner take all, but there's no unification.
Well, I'm not saying that they're going to have an undisputed women's title, but I'm saying that one person,
one woman has to defend
both Raw and SmackDown brands, which means they will compete on both Raw and SmackDown brands
until they lose one of the other titles.
Right. Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
But still.
But that being said,
the story behind this is we don't have enough time to go into.
Yeah, it's insane.
If you get an opportunity, look on YouTube for anything related to this story where it comes to.
We can give highlights.
Yeah, like
it
Becky Lynch
started at SummerSlam.
Yeah, right? where Becky Lynch turned on Charlotte Flair, and then at Survivor Series, it was supposed to be Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey because they were both champions at the time.
Right.
And then Becky suffered a concussion, so Charlotte got the match.
Right.
And then Charlotte beat the bejesus out of Ronda with a kendo stick.
Yeah.
And then
oh my gosh. it was scary.
Yep.
I mean, Ronda had
welts
on her back that were probably 28 to 30 inches long.
I sincerely hope she was okay with that. Otherwise,
she was. Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure Charlotte Flair wouldn't have had an arm.
Well, because she did the same thing to Charlotte and Becky later with the crutch that Becky was
Charlotte
using.
and Ronda. Becky did the same thing with Charlotte.
But Ronda got a hold of it a little bit as well. She got her links in.
Oh, yeah.
It was the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll come around to the Royal Rumble, and Becky Lynch loses the SmackDown Women's Championship to Asuka, but gets herself into the Women's Royal Rumble because someone got hurt. Lana
got hurt previously in the match because of the Rusev match with Nakamura.
Yep, and then
knocked her off and got hurt.
That's right.
Got her leg hurt. Nia Jax came into the Men's Royal Rumble later on, but because one of the R-Truth got eliminated from the match.
Only to then win the United States title Tuesday, so he made that work out.
Yeah.
So Charlotte,
as the John Cena poser,
right? Charlotte attacks Becky Lynch's knee, affects her pretty negatively, but Becky still gets the win in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Come that Tuesday, though, she's injured. We need you to go to the doctor. Monday, she announces she's going after Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And then the next weekend, she need to go to the doctor. I'm not going to the doctor. Well, if you don't go to the doctor, I'm going to take you out of the match. Well, okay. She finally goes to the doctor. Okay. Well, now that you've gone to the doctor, you need to apologize. Okay, fine. I apologize. Cool. You're still in the match. Vince is like, nope, you were being a jerk. You're suspended for 60 days. You can't be in the match. Charlotte Flair's now in the match.
Can I fire Vince McMahon?
No, it's good storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
It's good storytelling.
Because the other one, there was no way that Charlotte Flair would have made
I'm just
any
getting
sense
tired
in
of
this
the
match.
rinse and repeat. What he did in one, he did in the other. Come up with something new.
I mean, this is WrestleMania 35. He's just
Old and senile?
what he's doing.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is after dark, right?
No.
Okay, anyway.
No, I mean, officially.
This is Dr. Dead with no filter. Hi.
Anyways, so time goes on. She attacks Ronda. She attacks Ronda and Charlotte. She then gets an opportunity at Fastlane to face Charlotte. If she beats Charlotte, she gets put in the match because Ronda was demanding she got put in the match. And then when this happened, Ronda interfered, punches Charlotte.
No, punches Becky.
So that Charlotte gets disqualified. So Becky wins. Now Becky's in the match. And they make it official, and then there's lots of fighting back and forth, including a hilarious clip. If you get a chance, look up from this most recent Raw,
Monday Night Raw,
where they get handcuffed, and then Ronda and Becky are fighting each other in the back of a police car.
For a
kick fight going on.
10 or 15 minutes.
Insane.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But ultimately, what it all resulted in...
A window got blown out.
That was me summarizing 9 months of storyline.
And if you didn't follow that...
It's the first ever women's main event for WrestleMania. Now, winner take all, because last Tuesday, Charlotte somehow beats Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which there's a lot of agreements and disagreements associated with that, but it did cause this match to become a winner take all situation.
I don't like
Becky
it,
Lynch, the man, the one who has managed to make an entire name for herself utilizing social media and the crowd reaction, is walking out of there your Raw and SmackDown Live Women's Champion.
I agree. Confetti in the air, 2 titles in her hands.
I agree.
Ronda Rousey.
I agree.
That's right.
That's
Becky Lynch.
I think she pins Charlotte.
I believe that. That said, I don't care. Any one of them women could win. I'd be a happy person.
I agree.
I don't honestly care who. The story makes the most sense for Becky.
Yeah.
But all 3 of these women deserve everything they're going to get.
I agree.
At WrestleMania.
I agree. Here's my kind of last evidential case for it being Becky for sure, is that typically WWE does not like to close out pay-per-views on a downer.
Except they did last year.
But especially WrestleMania.
Yeah, they did
They did last year.
I'm just saying. I mean, Undertaker's lost at WrestleMania. Yes, we all know that there's an exception to the rule, Joshua.
Yes, well, Brock Lesnar busting open and beating Roman Reigns last year, too, was certainly not expected.
Yeah, but then again... Yeah.
I'm going to say...
5 F5s later,
I agree.
Big Dog is a big puddle of blood.
I agree.
And I pretty much was done at WrestleMania at that point. Like, that was what I stayed up for. I should have gone to bed.
But my point is, when they have this big of an opportunity to just go all in on a storyline and just watch it pay off to the nth degree, they normally will pull the trigger on it. And I think that this is definitely the storyline to pull the trigger on.
I think they're going to get too big a bite back from their crowd if they don't.
For this one.
For that. I'm not talking about the rest of them. I'm saying for this particular match, with all of the issues that Becky's had to deal with.
I think the only one that comes close is the Kofi Kingston one.
Yeah, but I think they'd be able to get away with that one.
Yeah.
Because Daniel Bryan would get the exact opposite reaction, which means they'd boo him, and it would work out good for WWE.
Which is why Daniel Bryan was my original pick. But then kind of breaking down the storyline, it's like, no, it's set up too good.
Yeah.
For it to be a Kofi Kingston win.
You've been trying to kill Kofi Kingston for so long, not really kill him, but kill the momentum for so long that if you do have him lose at WrestleMania, I feel like it's
like you don't get the payoff.
No, you screwed with us the whole time, and then in the end he lost anyway. I think you get a lot of betrayal kind of a feeling from your fans with that.
There's far too many opportunities for them to let a heel win in other matches, where we're all going to go, okay, well, I don't like it, but I guess I can deal with it. But then if you give us the Kofi Kingston, Becky Lynch payoff at the end, I also think it would be really cool to have Becky Lynch and Kofi Kingston come out and celebrate at the end if they do both win.
Sure. Yeah,
that would be a really cool thing.
Yeah.
New Day comes out, Becky Lynch is out there, they all celebrate their title wins.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Yeah. Okay. I don't, I do have it somewhere. Where is the paper from? It's right here.
Oh, yeah.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Okay. On our last episode of The Established Facts, that was episode 192, Fast Times at Build It High.
Or whatever you put as
building on a higher level is fine. We established that you better keep your weasel away from my giant bear. On episode 193 of The Established Facts, we have established Mustafa. Thank you so much for listening to episode 193. I hope that you can handle our indulgence when it comes to another passion of ours, and I hope that you were entertained at least by our discussion on storylines. I hope that you apply some of the things that we talked about maybe to your own games.
Think about your momentum. Think about your
good
story
guys
arcs.
And bad guys, and where you want the game to end and peak and dip and things like that. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to episode 193, our WrestleMania pre-show, and we will check you later.
Bye.
Deuces.
Please visit us at www.theestablishedfacts.com and our Facebook page, facebook.com/theestablishedfacts. If you would like to support us by buying some merchandise, visit cafepress.com/castingrobot.
Bonus.